Greetings and welcome to the Beers and Bodyslams podcast. Sitting across from me, the superstar that we didn't shake up, Mr. Fluffy.
Oh, that's so nice. And sitting across from me is a superstar that I like shaken, not stirred. Good old JB.
And in case you haven't noticed, there's one of us missing this week.
Yeah, we traded Irish, as we said last week, to the Martha Stewart podcast. So each week we'll get each episode will get a new little prize for them. This week we got a set of 4 crocheted pot covers.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
They're going to look really nice on my pots and pans. I like it. I'm excited.
We might have to auction those off.
I know. That was fun.
I thought he was up at Stanford applying for the GM job at Smackdown.
No.
Well, now we know where he went.
He is. He told me he's making duck à l'orange today. That's what he's doing.
Okay.
So.
Well, we have a great show this week, ladies and gentlemen. Lots and lots of things to talk about. As we alluded to, Superstar Shakeup.
Lots to talk about.
Smackdown, call-ups. Lots of movement, interesting returns, pairings that we can see down the road.
Mm-hmm.
We have a great beer we're also going to talk about. And, ladies and gentlemen, for those in the Orlando area, 3 weeks we are going to have a live show at Brass Tap locally here in Orlando. For those of you listening and you want to come out and be a part of the show, please feel free to do so. We'll talk about that and all of this great stuff when we come right back.
Awesome!
This is the Beers and Bodyslams podcast.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
With your host, Mr. Fluffy.
Hello, ladies.
Good old JB.
Booty-O's! They make sure you ain't booty.
And the Irish O'Leary.
There's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. A-A-W-S-T!
This is the only podcast bringing you craft beer and pro wrestling that really matters.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, D-Generation X proudly brings to you its WWF Tag Team Champion of the World, the Road Dogg Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the new.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
All right, Fluffy, tell the good people what we're drinking.
We are drinking from Orlando, Florida. We are drinking from Ellipsis Brewing Company Cryptocurrency. It is a New England IPA, and it is an amazing New England IPA. It is good. Really, really good. Ellipsis is a newer brewing company. You started up about a year or so ago, so they're still fairly new, but they got talent, man. They make some amazing New England IPAs, and so far this has been my favorite out of the group. Dave, we've talked about on the show, he brought some over.
Super Dave.
He brought some over for WrestleMania. I had some left, so I wanted to bring it out for the show. But it's really good, and it's just the two of us, so I was an easy can to open.
It's interesting that anytime I hear IPA, I start to cringe. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And I do get a lot of citrus with this one.
New Englands are citrusy. They're hazy, and they're more citrusy. So I think your palate
is definitely
New England IPA. So I think you're safe. If you ever see New England IPA on a menu, you're safe. Now, I've had some bad New England IPAs.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
And they're usually overhopped. And this is a very smooth one. You still get that bitterness in it, but like this would go really good with like a steak. I think really good with pork, like something that's enhanced by that. I don't know if seafood would go too well. I think it would offset it a little bit. Overpower, but like pork or steak.
Pork, definitely.
Yeah. But something like that would go really good.
Something that can stand up to that flavor.
And that citrusness. That's something that would enhance the citrusness. But thank you so much to Ellipsis Brewing here in Orlando.
Now I want some mojo pork with some IPA.
God, that'd be really good.
Really?
Mojo pork. Oh, yeah. But if you're in Orlando, go check them out. They're currently not distributing, but you can go to the brewery and get it. But they're really, really good. They're out not too far from the airport. So if you have hours to kill before you catch a flight, head over there.
Good stuff.
But we got all kinds of things going on.
Lots of exciting stuff.
Yeah, 3 weeks from now, we're going to do our first live show.
Yes, we're excited about that.
Very excited
opportunity
about that.
was presented to us, and we were definitely willing, and we had been discussing trying to do something live for the longest time. And friends over at Brass Tap are
on Mills Avenue
welcoming us with open arms in 3 weeks. And
May 2nd.
We're going to take this circus on the road, ladies and gentlemen.
So May 2nd at Brass Tap.
Yes.
And it's going to be a good time. We're going to supposedly they're going to do some trivia. We're going to be there recording.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do 2 episodes like normal. We're going to have a good time.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. So, lots going on. We had the shakeup. We might as well just dive right into it.
Where do you start?
Well, we're going to start with the shakeup. Well, actually, no. Let's start with this. Let's start with a melancholy moment. We did lose a wrestling legend this week.
Yes, we did.
Bruno Sammartino passed away at the age of 82.
One of the original faces of the company.
Yeah, I was going to say, he was the first big superstar the WWE, and that was a WWE or F had. He was Vince Sr.'s main draw for a long time.
Definitely.
Longest reigning champion ever.
Yep.
Will never be matched. Great person. And, for a long time, didn't have a relationship with the WWE at all.
And I'm glad that they finally mended fences before he passed so that they could, it's ironic, him and Warrior, they had those falling outs, and then they were able to mend fences and kind of, be brought back into the fold prior to their passing. But definitely, if there ever was a first ballot Hall of Famer, which he already is one, but he would be the typical prototype for that.
And it was supposedly Triple H that was the one who helped bring him back into the company. So that was a good thing. And he was before my time.
Oh, mine too, yeah.
But you knew his name. He was one of those legendary names, sort of like Gorgeous George, Bruno Sammartino, people like that. You knew who they were. And you can go back and watch some of the footage, and it's amazing to watch. And he made this company, he helped start this company. Hogan may have took it to the next level in the stratosphere.
Commercialized it,
but it was Bruno that really helped start it and keep it going and made it the dominant territory where everybody came in and made it a place to come to prove you were the best.
And one thing they really did a good job of back then is they always promoted the ones that came before.
Mm-hmm.
So they were always showing video clips of Bruno. And even though I never got to see him wrestle live, I always saw the videos. They always made sure you knew who he was. And they always did a good job of promoting the older generation wrestlers.
Yeah. So
rest in peace, Bruno.
Yeah.
You are a trailblazer. You will definitely be missed.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's move on to the shakeup. So before we start the shakeup, let's say we always do 2 episodes a week.
Yes.
To set this up, on this episode, we're just going to kind of talk about the people that moved, whether we think they were good moves or not. On Monday's show, JB and I are going to make some bold predictions for some of these people.
Yes.
So we're not going to kind of analyze the moves now as in what's good and what's bad. We're going to kind of talk about that, but we're going to make some big predictions and what we think is going to happen with some of these people on Monday's show.
Got it.
So tune in for that. But let's go ahead and start with Raw. First one that moved was Jinder Mahal.
That was a good move.
Very good move.
Yeah, that was a good move for him. Wasn't really booked in the best way, in my opinion, but he's definitely established himself now as a main player. So going to Raw kind of validates that by them switching him to the A show.
Yeah.
Regardless of what people say, it's still the A show.
Yep.
But yeah, he looks strong, great shape. He's very comfortable. You can see talking on the microphone now. He's checking all the boxes, so good for him. He needs some fresh feuds, and it's going to be hard still for him to get back to that level, but he'll be a solid replacement.
He'll be a solid mid-carder.
For the Miz, he'll be a good replacement on that spot.
The only thing is they brought him in, and he immediately lost the U.S. title to Jeff Hardy.
That's what I didn't. It wasn't booked well. Made him look weak.
Yeah.
I mean, that's usually your opening segment and your closing segment are your biggest ones.
Yeah.
So he's your opening. This is what draws the audience in. He's the first guy we're mentioning. He comes down. You're thinking, oh, we got the U.S. title's about to switch brands. And then all of a sudden he loses the title.
And then you knew
through everything.
And you lost
you
to Jeff
knew
Hardy.
right away he was going. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll talk about, but Hardy moved too, and we'll talk about that when we get the SmackDown. But you knew that was coming.
Yeah.
So next up, the Riot Squad showed up. Ruby, Liv, and Sarah all showed up in full force onto the big show.
I kind of feel like they had a lot of unfinished business on SmackDown. I really don't feel like they accomplished kind of what they set out to over there.
Well, we'll talk about that with the other group that moved over.
But I obviously we know the reasoning behind it.
Yeah.
Because of a page or whatnot.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just like from a career standpoint, I mean, I don't even think Sarah had a meaningful feud.
No, she never did.
And
Liv,
Ruby got her
really.
one title shot, but I just felt like there was a lot left for them to do over there before they moved them.
But, now they're on Raw. There's fresh opportunities. They're a good little group.
No, definitely.
So I think given more time that they'll get on the main roster, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. So it's going to be fun over there.
Lots of opportunities for sure.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Definitely adds depth to depleted, with Sasha and Bailey, and now you got Nia's coming to her own. Lexa needs to need a new feud, so it'll be interesting to see where they're.
Yeah, you could use them. You could really use them to turn Alexa face.
Yeah,
because they can start.
Well, they're gonna need to.
Yeah.
At some point, I think Bailey's gonna fall back to where she was before. It's just gonna get. When she's not feuding with Sasha, I don't think people care.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and it's not a knock on her. It's just the character.
Yeah,
those two bring the best out of each other.
Oh yeah,
but it's like Sasha's done. She does well in other feuds on her own because her character is very multifaceted. But Bailey is like she's just one note, and it's like if she's not fighting Sasha, it's just
pointless.
There's no spark in those feuds.
I agree with that. Fashion Police have moved.
They actually had a match.
Show. They had and beat the bar.
I was like, "Hey, we're cooking with
and
gas.
Look good."
Yeah.
So maybe this is a sign that again, being a 3-hour show, they're looking for more space.
Tag teams.
Given tag teams. So I would love to see the Fashion Police get a nice run.
Yeah.
We don't know what's happening with the Raw titles right now. Because
they don't talk about them.
They don't talk about them, and they're kind of vacant right now. Or they are vacant right now.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to have the Bar versus Hardy and Bray at the Greatest Royal Rumble, but is that going to happen? Is the Bar's been moved, so somebody else might move into that spot? We'll see. Maybe they'll have a one-night tournament this week to determine who. I don't know. Yeah. But I was excited to see them in the ring. They look good.
They did.
So look good.
You think we get new belts?
No. Tag belts?
Yeah.
No. They're going to keep those ugly ones.
I think so.
Yeah. Natty has moved to Raw. I have no problem with that. I think
she had done everything over SmackDown. There's nothing left to do.
And I think I'll say what is her. She has some toss-up feuds. She has the Riot Squad to deal with. Her and Alexa could kind of mix it up. Her and Nia could definitely mix it up a little bit.
She adds
the
veteran experience, and she's going to put on a good match.
I wouldn't mind seeing her and Bailey.
She'll help develop the younger women.
Yeah.
And help give them good matches as well.
Yeah.
She's so likable just on social media. So she just is a natural face.
Well, she's likable until she starts talking about her cat, and you just want to.
She kind of goes heel with the cat lady thing, but
2 paws.
Yeah, that's But she's good for her. I think this is the last run.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So maybe she'll have one more good run and put over some of the younger talent.
Yeah. Looks like we have the formation of maybe a new tag team or a new small group.
This needs to be a stable.
With Ziggler showed up and said, "I am not alone." And a very invigorated, very good-looking, very healthy-looking Drew McIntyre showed up and pounded. They look good together.
They need to form a stable.
That Claymore zigzag finisher. Holy cow, that looked like it hurts.
I mean, first of all, I didn't realize how tall Drew McIntyre was until he was standing next to Ziggler. I was like, this dude is like 6'3", legit, and like he is a big dude.
Yeah.
I can see why Vince was so high on him back in the day.
Yeah.
Before he left, but I would love to see a stable out of this, like a 3 or 4 man group.
Yeah.
But as a tag team,
They're deadly as a tag team, but I
could see a stable, and just kind of like running roughshod over people.
I wouldn't mind seeing them and somebody else we'll get to in a minute, but a heel turn Bobby Roode, the three of them as a little group, sort of an ego run group would be really fun.
That would be.
But again, I'm excited. Then we had some videos. We had some people that weren't there, but were shown on video. Baron Corbin is coming to Raw.
Interesting. I know that Vince is still high on him.
Yeah.
And he still sees potential in him. So I think that moving him to Raw is going to be a way to showcase him down the road. He won't jump right into anything, I don't think major, but I think they're going to set him up and try and repolish him a little bit.
Yeah.
He's one of Vince's guys. So I think this is his opportunity to kind of sink or swim.
He had a good run going for a while, and then he didn't do anything wrong. One tweet, and it just sort of fell apart. But he's got potential. I mean, he's got that look. He's a natural heel.
His thing was he never ingratiated himself to the people in the back.
Yeah,
and his whole thing was, and at first I couldn't tell if it was just him or if he was in character. But I'm not here to make friends.
Yeah,
I'm here to do my job, get paid, and go home.
Yeah,
and I think that statement rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and he really didn't have a lot of support in the locker room.
I always felt like of all the people you watched, and you go, oh, that's a character. I always felt like his character wasn't far off from who he really was. And when you read some comments online from people, you got that he definitely was offish in the back, and he was definitely into that. It's me. Yeah, it's all about me. I don't need you.
Because he didn't come up in the business.
No, he came out from football and moved over.
His perspective is different. And I think a lot of people, these days, some of the old school guys are still around. They have a problem with that.
Yeah. The Ascension are moving to Raw. This feels like we're moving you. This is your chance. Hopefully to do something with them. And if this doesn't work out, they're getting future endeavored. This definitely feels like one of those moves. And and there's somebody else on this list on Raw, and I'll mention that person too, that I feel is the same thing. They're kind of like going, okay, we're going to move you. We're going to give you a new writing team. We're going to see if it clicks. And if this doesn't work, we're gone.
They can book them as the way the club should have been booked.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens. But the worst thing that could happen for them is to be put in Fashion File skits.
Yeah.
So keep them out of those, make them legit. They could go with anybody.
Put him with Bray. Let Bray
when he eventually does his thing.
Well, no, but this is okay. I'll give you. This is not a bold prediction, but a storyline idea. Let them come in. Let them feud with what are probably going to be the tag team champions, Bray and Matt.
Yeah.
And let them play with them. And then in the end, we find out the entire time this has been Bray's evil plan to eventually destroy Matt. And he's been playing. He's been with the Ascension the entire time. That was the entire thing. Mm-hmm. Is he's been using them the entire time because the whole lake thing was a lie, and he just wanted Matt to feel comfortable so he could get his ultimate revenge on Matt. And then put him with Bray.
Yeah,
because they need something, and he needs. And we've always said he's better with the group.
Yeah,
give him the Ascension.
Yeah,
we thought it'd be Sanity, but they went elsewhere. So give him something.
Yeah.
So that'd be fun.
That's what they need.
Yeah, Bobby Roode moved over to Raw. This, I hope, is a good thing.
Can't be any worse than the Smackdown run.
He's got to turn heel, though.
No, he will.
He's got to turn heel. I mean, he just has to.
That character's not a face gimmick.
KO and Sammy came over because of Stephanie McMahon.
We knew that was coming.
Yeah, and I loved it. I love how they read the letter and stuff like that.
Sammy puts his glasses on.
Oh God, that was funny. Hilarious. That was the funniest part of the whole night.
That and Corey Graves dropping the Bullet Club reference.
Don't give away my line of the week. Please don't give away my line of the week. It's a whole quote.
Speaking of hilarious.
Yeah, it's a whole quote. We'll talk about the end of the show.
That was a whole conversation.
It was a whole I got the whole thing. But I love how they're like, yep, no, we're here. It's, you messed up. Yeah. We're here. And they seemed happy as hell and enjoying it. This is the KO and Sammy I love when they're just like, yep, we're here. And they're going to create havoc.
They literally could go full NWO mode.
Oh yeah, I think they're going to,
and just like put all like Sammy, Kevin. They could even put Ziggler and all the disgruntled people.
Oh yeah,
just put them together and just let them just to wreak havoc every week.
Yeah. Zack Ryder has moved to Raw. Woo, woo, woo.
Okay. I don't know about, I don't. I think they had an opportunity.
He's a jobber move.
Yeah, but they had a legitimate opportunity with him when he won the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania.
Yep, and they
couple years ago, they had a chance to really do something off of that because
Killed it.
he was popular at that time, and after that they killed it the next night, and he's never recovered. They tried the tag team with Mojo Rawley.
Yep,
that didn't work. He got hurt.
Yep,
lost all that momentum, came back, and it's just like he needs first of all he needs to turn heel. He needs to get a tweak at the gimmick. It could still work, but as for like right now as a face, it's just nobody's
actually
feeling it.
You know what? Put him with Ziggler and McIntyre.
They could.
The three of them would actually, him as a heel, the three of them wouldn't be bad together.
They could. They need to add one more to that, at least one more to that group.
But that group, my other person I said, I think it's a person they went, here, we're moving you, and if this doesn't work, we're done, is Mojo.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like when he flamed out on SmackDown, I don't feel it was writing. I just don't think he was committed enough to what they were trying to do because they had a good idea going. And then you watched him in the ring and he looked uninspired. And as much as they want to write you, I just felt like, when you watch his matches, they were trying to tweak him, as you could see it. They were trying to tweak his moveset, and then he would fall back into his old moveset, and you could see the confusion in the ring at that point, and it just fell apart.
I just don't know if they really had anyone for him to feud with.
They got him now.
That they trusted or that it would have made sense for him to feud with. Yeah. Had they established Ty Dillinger, that would have been a good starter feud for him when he first turned heel.
Yeah.
But they didn't establish him, so that wouldn't make any sense. You're not going to bump him to the top of the card.
No, he's lower mid card.
They're mid card. I mean, Bobby Roode's not going to do the job to him. No. But so there really wasn't anyone for him to start off with.
Yeah, but you
kind of springboard him up to the mid, at least the mid card level.
But a few with somebody like Bobby Roode, or even on the new roster now, like a Finn Balor or a Seth, he's not going to win. But you don't have to win to get over.
You can get away with that with Finn or Seth because they're not going to lose anything.
Yeah.
Bobby Roode was already floundering.
What I'm saying is he doesn't have to. Can still win. Bobby's going to win.
No, I'm saying he's going to win, but it's going to make his character look worse.
Yeah.
It's like a step down for him to fight Mojo Rawley.
I always want Mojo to be what Zack Ryder was for a little while, that annoying person that just sort of shows up.
That's what they kind of were going for.
And was like, I deserve this.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? That I think it would work. So
his promos were actually getting better.
Oh yeah, the quiet Mojo.
He had that little intensity about him, but then they just let it go.
Yeah. Chad Gable has been separated from his buddy, and he is now apparently a single wrestler, unless they're going to put him with somebody in the tag. And he is now on Raw. I have no opinion. I want to see what he does. Ever since they split up American Alphas, I felt both of them have floundered. I almost wish they'd put them back together again.
They may do that.
Maybe, because they both need something, and there's nothing wrong with putting them back together again.
Yeah, they may actually do that. That probably would be the best way to go.
Yeah. And then another person that moved that is apparently coming back soon, and I'm hoping it's a repackaging in some way, is Michael Kanellis / Bennett. We talked about it. It was funny, is that was one of the people I talked about last week when we talked about, people we want to see on the Monday show.
Yeah.
And he was one of the people I said, move him to Raw, let him go back to being Michael Bennett.
Yep.
Get rid of Maria completely.
Yeah.
And just let him be.
He was great in Ring of Honor. They do need to reestablish him. They cannot go back to that gimmick or he would lose instant credibility.
But he's got on Raw, I think he has some really good feud possibilities with Seth and Finn, and even people like Bobby Roode. Even a Mojo Rawley or a Chad Gable.
Like I said, the first feud is always the most important.
No, he needs to come out and channel Seth.
Yeah.
Like he needs to come out. That's what I'm saying is he needs to come out as Michael Bennett and be like, all right.
Yeah.
I admit when I was here before, that was not me. I am back. I have found myself. I am Michael friggin' Bennett. And basically come out with get his swagger back and have Seth in the ring and be like, and the only way I'm going to really prove I'm back is when I beat you for that.
Yeah.
And just let them run.
Yep.
So, Raw, I will say this. Before we move on to SmackDown, this was the best shakeup they've ever done.
Oh, yeah.
Number one, usually they only do 2 or 3 on the show and they have a bunch afterwards. Everybody was announced either on the show or on social media during the show.
Yep.
There was nothing afterwards, which I loved.
Yep.
And we didn't pack it full like people like Baron Corbin and Ascension. They were just little video packages of them coming.
Yeah.
And I love that idea. This was a great way. They did an awesome job this year.
They really did. The most impactful debut was Drew McIntyre for me.
On Raw? Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Like I said, his stature, man, I didn't realize how big he was, but the way they beat them down.
Yeah.
They got something with this. Like I said, if it's a tag team or a stable, they got something with this one.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Before we move on to SmackDown, I once again want to thank Ellipsis Brewing for your cryptocurrency New England IPA. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And it's a kind of beer where, and a good New England IPA does this. As it warms up, it opens a little bit, and some of the acidicness of the citrus goes away, but you still get the flavor.
Yeah.
I feel like the warmer it gets, the less sharpness it gets. It's a little
it kind of mellows out. Yeah.
It mellows out. Plus, you're drinking anyways. It mellows out anyways. But I always feel like when it warms up a little bit, it gets a little smoother.
It does change the profile of it a little bit.
But
I like it. It's good.
Yeah. So, all right, on to SmackDown. Hold on.
As he takes another sip of the nectar of the gods.
That's right. That's right. We knew this move on Raw, but we said it here. The Miz, at the request of Daniel Bryan. Oh my God, I can't wait for this feud.
Yeah.
Because Daniel tweeted, I've been waiting forever to punch him in the face. Has been separated from the Miz Taraj and is now on SmackDown.
Where it all started
Oh my God.
with this feud with Daniel Bryan.
I am so excited about him being on SmackDown. I think on the topic show on Monday, we talked about I wanted Daniel to go to Raw to fight with The Miz. I'm fine the other direction.
Yeah.
I am perfectly fine because
They had to be on the same show.
oh God, yeah. Oh yeah.
I figured this. I didn't think this match would happen this quickly.
Well, I know they're already scheduled
Next month.
Next month, yeah. I think it's gonna. I don't think that's gonna end it though.
No.
I think this will be a long
They'll drag it out through the summer.
term. This will be This will end at SummerSlam.
So, do we get a new Miz Taraj, or you think he'll go solo?
I think he'll go solo maybe for a little bit.
Is he taking time off because he just had a kid?
No. He's full. He took a couple days off after the kid was born. He's going from there. He's running.
Wow.
I don't think he's taking any time off at all. He's
I
gonna
mean,
run.
he's the one guy you don't got to worry about losing your spot.
No,
Dude,
but
take a month off, dude.
But I would also be surprised. And I've kind of looked at some of the house shows. He's not doing as many house shows, so I think he's taking time off.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're on the road once a week,
exactly,
twice a week.
So he's probably only doing 2 or 3 shows and then going from there. Like I don't think he's
That's
doing
manageable.
I don't think he's doing the full schedule.
Yeah.
Like he's probably working 2 or 3 days and he's home the rest of the time. So yeah. But I'm excited. Him on SmackDown again. I wouldn't mind Miz and AJ.
You're going to see it.
Miz and Daniel. I mean, there's some really good possibilities on SmackDown for him. In the least shocking move that wasn't announced on Raw, Jeff Hardy was moved over because the U.S. title was with him.
Even though they announced that it wasn't brand exclusive.
Yeah.
So that was kind of strange, but
you knew it was going to because they're not going to want the Intercontinental and the U.S. on the same belt.
No,
unless they move Seth over, which I knew they weren't going to.
Yeah.
They were moving it. So, and the U.S. title is honestly, I like the Intercontinental on Raw because again, until they take the belt off of Lesnar and we see the belt on the Universal belt,
that's the second biggest belt in the company.
That's the second biggest company. Nothing gets a WWE Championship on SmackDown, but it really is for Raw. It's the Intercontinental. It's the WWE Championship, the Intercontinental, maybe the Universal, the way it's run, but. They need a big belt like that. And the U.S. title doesn't have that grab in the WWE.
Yeah.
WCW, NWA, but Intercontinental will always be the belt. So, Absolution. Mandy and Sonya moved over to SmackDown. I kind of figured that was going to happen when they moved the Riot Squad over.
And when they
plus with Paige.
So do they add a member to that group? Or would you just like to keep them as a tag
I think a
team?
tag team is fine for now. But I don't know. I don't know if they're going to use the angle, if they're going to use Paige as maybe a Healy a little bit and let her, help her friends. Yeah, we'll see. That's the one thing we don't. Right now, Paige is in that honeymoon. Card. Yeah, Paige is in that honeymoon period. So we'll see. The shocking move for me was Joe. I didn't expect Joe to move.
I didn't see that one either, but it makes the most sense.
Oh no, it makes sense, but I didn't think it was going to happen
especially with his history with AJ. I think there was too many big fish on Raw for him to get to where he needed to be. So now, I mean, obviously you still got Nakamura, AJ, but he'll be the face of SmackDown.
Oh, he's winning the belt this year.
Yeah, he'll have more opportunity on SmackDown to be the guy.
Yeah, he's finally going to win that world title belt this year. I can see it coming. In the funniest return was Big Cass coming out and talking to Daniel Bryan like, I don't see what the big deal is.
Yeah.
That was funny when he comes out and looks at him and kind of holds his hand out like, I'm this tall and you're like way down here. And
this is what all the fuss is about.
This is what all the fuss is about. That was kind of fun.
It was.
He came out later in the show and helped beat the crap out of AJ and Daniel. You know what? If you're, I look this way.
Shinsuke needs low blows, by the way. It's like his calling card now.
Yeah. I will say that you got to feel pretty good as Big Cass if you came back from a massive injury. I mean, he had a massive injury, and you kind of worried, especially with happening with Enzo. You got to be kind of nervous for yourself, going, "Oh crap, am I going to come back and basically run out my contract and be told, nice kid?" But to come back and be told, by the way, you're gonna feud with the returning Daniel Bryan.
Yeah,
that's got to make you feel good. Because when Daniel wins, it's a huge deal because he's overcome the bigger guy. He proves he can still take on anybody.
Yeah.
And again, even in losing, Big Casses are going to look great.
Exactly. Well, people will care about his character.
Yeah, he's going to get his ass kicked by Daniel, but he's going to look good doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing that it wasn't shocking when it happened, and I'm not surprised, but I still didn't see it coming, was Asuka moving over to SmackDown.
When she lost to Charlotte, I figured that she would come over.
But now she's hanging out with Charlotte
for now.
It looks like her, Becky, and Charlotte are a little.
I don't know. No. Asuka's a loner, so I think you're going to see a heel turn.
Okay.
At some point, and she's going to buy her time because eventually Charlotte's getting that belt back.
Oh yeah, totally.
So you weren't going to see that again.
Oh yeah,
probably this summer.
Carmella's only keeping it warm.
Yeah.
We had 2 tag teams move over, and I bring them up at the same time because they kind of came out at the same time to announce it in video form. Both the Club and the Bar are moving to SmackDown.
Good moves.
Yeah.
The Club, they really need a jolt.
Yeah, I wish they'd kept them with Finn.
That you're going to put them with AJ.
They could put them with AJ. But I think at this point you got to keep a face though. Is them versus the Bludgeon Brothers or them versus the Usos?
AJ's face. So put them with AJ.
Put them with AJ. They could be really
thing.
good. And even the Bar kind of was surprising to me because they really had good traction on Raw.
Oh, they did. But they run through a course.
Yeah.
So now it's a time for them to come over there and they'll be the team to beat probably for the foreseeable future.
Are we going to see a run eventually where it's the Bar trying to prove that they're the best tag team currently going against the New Day, as in the what people are anointing as the best tag team going?
Yeah, I mean,
like war for war.
They go over there and they can say they held both brand titles.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have a lot of,
which only Lex has been able to say so far that she's done that on both brands, have held the major titles.
Did New Day have them on Raw? When they had that long run, or were they on SmackDown?
They were on SmackDown, weren't they?
I can't remember, but the Bar is when they were put together, I was actually thought they had potential, but they far exceeded what I thought they could do. But there's some interesting feuds: Usos,
Bludgeon
New
Brothers,
Day, Bludgeon Brothers,
and the Club. Even the Club, I think, to move over with them
if they re-energize them.
Yeah.
And give them, the proper push, then they could do something too. But the moves, I think, benefited the tag team divisions the most.
Yeah, most definitely
for the Superstar Shakeup this time around. Then you got Sanity coming up.
Well, we're talking about that.
Yeah.
That's my last on my list.
So, speaking of tag team.
Yeah, we had a call up also. Cena Almost. Andre Cena Almost and his manager are coming to SmackDown.
She's really good.
She's really good.
She's really good.
He's really good. He's a guy that could walk in tomorrow and challenge Jeff Hardy for the U.S. title. In a very short time, he could be challenged for the world title.
He's their new Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah, but he's good though, man.
Yeah, he's good. She's good too, though.
Yeah, she's really, really good.
Yeah, they got a great pop when that name was announced.
Yeah, because he was huge. And again, you knew it was coming though when he lost to Aleister Black. I assumed that's usually the sign.
But I didn't see this when he first came in.
No one did. He floundered in NXT for about a year.
Yeah,
with a gimmick that was not that great.
Yeah.
And when they hooked him up with Zelina and really sort of started running this heel side of him, he was kind of a tweener before, but he really grew very quickly. He reminds me of sort of Razor Ramon and Del Rio sort of combined into one character.
That's a good analogy, Razor Ramon.
You've got that. You've got the cunning and cerebral part of Del Rio, with the arrogance and the cockiness of a Razor Ramon. And they do kind of combine into this really good form. And they need a good Latin star, and
that's what they've been looking for.
He is it. You can build a lot around him. And I think he has face potential if you did it right. He can turn, I think, and they could pull it off.
Yeah.
Because you could split him off from her.
Yeah.
And then make him a face and kind of make it a she comes after him kind of thing.
Yeah.
So R-Truth, which I sometimes forget is even on the roster to begin with, has moved to SmackDown.
That's what being well liked does for you.
He had a funny little segment with the New Day.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Him and Dillinger, that whole little 5-7 in the back, when they're like, yeah, we know each other, and then broke into like this weird slap-handing, completely choreographed segment.
I'll see y'all tomorrow.
That was funny. Oh, I know. I'll see you guys tomorrow on Raw. Is he gonna be okay? No. So is this what we're gonna get? Are we getting Little Jimmy again?
We need it, but I don't think so. That was his best gimmick, was the Little Jimmy.
Well, I don't think we're getting Little Jimmy's, but I'm saying, is that the kind of delusional? I mean, they've been playing delusional for a while. But
he's been delusional. He's just comic relief at this point. He's not even doing anything on TV.
And then the most excited I got, and I'm really excited, is Sanity's coming. Now, I'm a little upset they're not bringing Nikki Cross. It's only the boys.
They can't deplete their women's division.
Yeah, I know. That's the only problem.
They need her down there.
But God, that promo was great. The whole, all we want is chaos.
Yeah.
Holy crap. They're going to show up and just destroy things.
And they got a lot of heels now as tag teams. You know what I mean? So
but you know what?
I guess they got a good balance.
They've got a good balance, and they're the kind of team.
But the Usos transitioning, they got another face team.
But the thing is they're sort of an NWO heel.
Yeah,
They're a heel, but they're going to get a pop and a half.
Yeah.
And no matter who that's what they get in NXT now.
First time those lights go off and
they hear that music.
Hits, that very unique music.
Oh my God, the places are going to go. There's a video played and I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
I was excited. Like I can't wait. That is the thing I'm excited about. But like I said, on Monday's show, we're going to make some bold predictions for these people that we hope is going to happen. We're not sure is going to happen. But we do have some other news to talk about in the world of wrestling. Just a couple things before we close out.
Yep.
I will say, when I first heard about the greatest Royal Rumble, I figured we'd be like, all right, we'll see. It's a glorified house show. Even with the Royal Rumble itself, we have decided to pick matches next week, not to make it an official pay-per-view pick like we normally do. But the card has gotten so good that JB and I are going to make picks next week on the card.
Yeah, it's a big deal, and they're promoting the hell out of it. So
and it's a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, it's at where's it? Saudi Arabia, right?
Yeah, Saudi Arabia. Yeah. They're going to run it live. I think it's like 10 or 11 o'clock here live. I probably won't get to watch it until the weekend.
Yeah,
but you know, Roman versus Brock in a cage, and now we've got Seth and Finn versus Miz and Samoa for the Intercontinental, which we know Seth's retaining because the Miz and Joe are both gone.
Well, Finn's still there.
Finn's AJ versus Shinsuke. Hardy versus Jinder, which we know that's going to go, Bray and Hardy versus the Bar, maybe.
Interesting.
Bludgeon versus the Usos, Cedric versus a gauntlet match winner, Cena versus Triple H, and Rusev versus Undertaker in a casket match. The match that was on.
They pulled that one.
And then it was off. No.
They put it back on again?
Oh, it's back on again. It was on. And then Lana did something. And then it became Undertaker versus Jericho in a casket match. And now it's back to Rusev versus Undertaker in a casket match. Story though, the whole thing has been a play the whole time to build off this idea of Lana still trying to make influence for Rusev backstage. They're now playing... They're getting really good at playing the smarks. They're getting really good. But
she plays into it really well, too.
So I'm excited about that. And we're going to make some picks next week. Some other things that happened. One last thing I want to talk about, I admit it, is the breakup of the power couple that wasn't a power couple, but everybody thought they were, was Cena and Nikki.
So you're saying there's still a chance?
I was gonna say. So, did you send a notification saying you have a spare bedroom that she can stay in?
Are you saying there's still a chance?
Should I go check your place to make sure she's not living in the back bedroom, or can we get her on the show?
Oh, trust me, I'd be trying every day if that was possible. Bree, I don't want to get too deep into it, but the thing is, like, my issue was apparently, if you believe the stories.
Oh, I believe the stories.
Is that Cena got cold feet.
Yep.
A month, they're supposed to get married next month.
Yep.
So my whole thing was, you always said and maintained you didn't want to get remarried after your first divorce.
And he had a brutal divorce.
Yeah, it was terrible.
He had a brutal divorce.
It was at his own doing.
Yeah.
So, okay, fine, you don't want to get married. Why would you propose to this woman at WrestleMania
on the biggest
front
stage
of the world?
Yep.
If you don't want to get married, and then apparently he wasn't under any pressure to do so. But you have the woman signing contracts to live at your house.
Yep.
This is any indication of what you're dealing with. Like, for all the good he does for kids, like to like adults, he has a different personality or something. Yeah. I felt bad for, better to find that out now before you get married. Lesson learned: if a guy tells you he doesn't want to get married, don't accept his wedding proposal.
That may not be the best idea in the world. Was she blind? I feel like she was sort of blinded by love. And I don't watch Total Divas anymore. I haven't watched it in about 3 or 4 seasons probably. But I remember when I used to watch it, and I would watch it and go, clearly she was more in love than he was.
Yeah, but it's like we're giving relationship advice on the Beers and Bodyslams podcast.
It's okay.
You can, you can't change someone.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So, like, I don't care how much in love you are or how long you're with somebody. They're not going to change who they are, and you're not going to change them.
Yeah.
So she probably felt as if, well, we're together long enough, I'll change his mind. You don't want someone to change their mind, to marry you. You want them to be willing and want to do that. And, it's sad, like, I was happy for them because they seemed happy. They seemed like a good fit, the whole power couple deal. Apparently, if she's heartbroken, devastated, all the adjectives to describe, her state of mind. I wonder the type of reaction that Cena gets when he comes back on TV.
Same reaction he always gets. He's going to get
But
booed.
I think, like, usually the women and children like him.
Yeah, that might change
I think that it may be even a little more Roman Reigns-esque type of reaction now.
The thing is
because it doesn't paint him in a great light.
No, and the thing was, what makes it sad is that especially with the breakup now, is you realize they use the height of their relationship, quote unquote, in the feud, and it got burnt out because that whole thing with the Miz and Maurice was amazing.
It was, and
the proposal was the perfect end. Yep. And now you kind of look back and go, well,
this was right.
This was right. This was totally right. So it kind of shades that whole entire situation in a different way.
Yeah.
And if I was the Miz, I would wish, because they won't, because Cena would kill him.
Oh, clearly.
But I would love the Miz just to come out and go, see, I told you.
Oh, don't be surprised.
Like, I would love the Miz just go.
Don't be surprised.
Yep.
If
See,
you hear him say something.
I've told you a year ago, y'all booed me about this stuff. Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would be like about the relationship per se, but he would like make a subtle jab at him.
Oh, yeah. So, but it was an interesting week.
A lot going on.
Like I said, line of the week. It's 3 lines actually because it was too good to go. Corey Graves going, the Bullet Club is for everyone. Cole then saying, did you mean the Balor Club? And Corey coming back with, I have a speech impediment tonight. Holy crap.
Well,
the Freudian slip in that. The absolute slip in that. You almost wonder if he said it, and all of a sudden his ear, all of a sudden you hear him go,
he cringed.
We're going to talk about this in the back later.
You know someone cringed.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
Cody sent out a tweet, as a matter of fact.
Oh, I saw Finn's tweet about, for everybody, da-da-da-da-da. What was Cody's? I didn't see Cody's.
Basically, they just asked him if we're not allowed to say Bullet Club. He said the club is okay.
Yeah.
That was his response.
Oh, my God.
But, Bullet Club, you can't be using that one, buddy.
I will say, and Corey is winning social media this week. I don't know if you saw the Shinsuke tweet.
No.
Shinsuke put up some tweet in, I think it was Spanish or something, and then wrote down, I lost my mind for a minute. And then Corey responded back, goes, look, he can't speak English, but he can type it. There is a hope.
Oh, boy.
So Corey is just, God, he reminds me of Bobby Heenan. If Bobby Heenan was around now, as in his prime, not as an old passed away, but like if he was now, he would be the greatest tweeter ever. And I feel like Corey is really going to take that and just run with it. Like they just need to let him run with his tweets because he does so well. Yeah, but it was a good week. I'd like to thank Ellipsis Brewing for your cryptocurrency.
She was good.
I'm glad I can introduce you to a style of IPA that you enjoy.
Yeah, this was one that I would go back for if I was out drinking. I would have 2 of these.
Yeah, I would say if next time we're out, we'll try to find you some more New England IPAs that you might like. But I do really think you'd like these New England IPAs.
Always looking to expand my palate.
Yeah. Make sure you tune in on Monday's show. Like I said, we're going to go down the list of people, and not everybody, but we're going to make some bold predictions for some of these people that got moved to new brands of things we think are going to happen and just have some kind of fun with it. Things we know are never going to happen, but we wish would happen. So we'll see from there.
Should be interesting.
And if you say it's the year of Baron Corbin again, I'm done. That was last year's prediction. You can't recycle that one.
First of all,
you can't recycle that one.
I was a hairline away from that becoming a reality.
Oh, you were sure? I think if it wasn't for that tweet, he would have been world champion this year.
He was on the fast track, and it would have happened before the end of the year.
All right.
Damn you, Baron. Follow us on Untapped. You can find this hopefully local wonderful IPA in your area and lots of other great craft beers. You can follow me at GoodOLJB.
You can follow Mr. Fluffy, and you can follow Irish at The Real Irish.
The Real Irish.
Or The Irish. The Irish?
The Irish O'Leary.
Or Irish O'Leary. Make sure you check us out on Facebook at the Beers and Body Slams podcast. You can check us out on Twitter at Beers Body Slams because of the fact that our and was shaken up and sent to space. We can't find it. It's somewhere. We also have an Instagram account. I'm running our Instagram account. We're having some fun with that. JB runs our Twitter. Irish runs our Facebook. I'm running our Instagram. I just literally just started. I've got 2 posts up so far.
Reach out to us on social media.
Beers and Body Slams podcast.
We're always looking for show ideas and feedback. The more feedback we can get from you guys, the better. Help us improve the show, and we try to become as interactive as possible. So definitely reach out to us.
And I said, if you're in the Orlando area, remember May 2nd. We'll talk about more over the next couple of weeks, but May 2nd, we're going to be at the Brass Tap on Mills Avenue for a live taping of Beers and Body Slams.
Come out and see us. Say hello.
Right. That's right. And as always, make sure you get your pint glasses full and your body slams.
You've been listening to the Beers and Body Slams podcast. Find us online at beersandbodyslams.com. and on Facebook at facebook.com/Beers and Body Slams Podcast. Until next time.
Have a nice day.